6 years ago, I shared a non-meta Frost build that gives the Warframe mobility, crowd control, and armor stripping. I dubbed it as a moving snowman build, and it deviates from the usual role of the Warframe during those times, which only spam his snow globe in defense mission to help the steam. The moving snowman build was simply an icy avalanche build that grants you Frost and his allies ice coating, and I was really happy that even though Frost did not receive a glorious rework, the snowman build evolved, and I can truly say that it's one of the best builds for Frost right now. The ice coating, or what we call ice armor, was changed to Overguard, but it has the same effect. The icy avalanche augment still gives extra layer of health through Overguard, and it also does negate status effects, which was the biggest upside of using the augment in the first place. For the build, I usually prefer low duration and high range, as every cast will give you Overguard, and the low duration will help unfreeze the enemies easily, so you can freeze them again with Frost 4th ability and get Overguard again from the same target. However, things have changed right now, and with the overhaul to cold, I prefer to add primed continuity in my build to further increase the effectiveness of my skills. Frost Avalanche can strip all armor of enemies with enough power strength. Then with the augment, it can give Overguard, and also the ability does freeze enemies, which will stun lock them in place, and they will receive an increased critical damage debuff from the 10 cold stacks that you have inflicted to them. With Nourish as a subsumed ability, you can use both Arcane Energize and Zenuric's Wellspring ability to maintain your energy and spam his 4th ability, not to mention that you can also use his other abilities if you want. With a full armor strip, you can use a weapon with high slash damage to kill them, or you can go with a Blast and Toxin combination, which is an absolute monster for Frost right now. The Blast will have this explosion effect after you kill enemies with the element, or you have inflicted the max stack on an enemy. This will deal explosion damage to them, and since we have Viral also in our Nourish, we can then inflict more damage to enemies that have no armor and are being dealt damage with Blast. To further increase its lethality, we then add Toxin in the mix, which is good for those highly shielded enemies in the game, as this element bypasses the shield and directly attacks their health. So basically you armor strip and then you can deal blast damage. Also, you have a Toxin element that can kill corpus units fast, so this makes the build a universal build that you can use for almost every mission in the game. Now, use this with the meta Incarnate Turret and you'll melt enemies easily after stripping their armor with Frost Avalanche ability. Honestly, the combo was not that interesting at first to me, as it feels generic, and there was nothing new since I was already talking about this before the Cold and Blast rework. However, I did not imagine it to be this good, and I honestly think that this is one of the best combos you can use for Frost right now. By the way, you can further improve this build by adding a Sentinel companion, preferably the Doriga, and then use the Verglass weapon and mod it for magnetic and gas. This does not only increase the damage of your galvanized Incarnate Turret, but the magnetic is insane also with Overguard units and does allow you to halt the regeneration of shields. And mind you, Verglass is pretty strong even in Steel Path levels, and with no armor values, the Sentinel can also kill Steel Path enemies casually. Finally, if you don't have the Riven mod for the Incarnate Turret, then you can just add a faction mod to increase the damage of Toxin. However, try to get a Turret Riven with a high critical chance value, as this will be very insane for Frost, especially since Cold does buff critical damage now. So that's all about it. If you have all the necessary resources to replicate this build, then I strongly suggest that you try it now. Thank you so much for watching, and we hope to see you again in our next video.
That is absolutely you!
I'll never miss